We're live. Here we are.
All right.
Finally, with a few days to go, doing the May Hangout, and so.
All right, you're catching the end of the live stream for today. It was great seeing you guys.
That was about what it was going to be, I swear. Okay, first of all, we got Charles, Johnny, and Daniel showing up so far.
Well, we're here.
We're queer, and we're never going to be feared.
We'll see if any of the other blackmail victims made it.
And Daniel will be sharing the video for the chat room since he wasn't getting on cam. But I should probably talk about what happened to the previous attempt at this, as well as explain the name for this. So I was going to try this month to do. A lot of you caught me playing around with OBS, and that was kind of fun. And so I said, okay, we'll do this on Jitsi Meet, which should have a lot of, advantages over Hangouts, and then I'll broadcast it with OBS. And it was scheduled and it was going and everything was set up great, working perfectly. Windows 10 crapped itself, made me reboot. After that, nothing worked right. And
with any luck, the universe has a sense of irony and this won't crash and burn.
Oh, yeah.
Don't hold your
that was what I
breath.
called it because, Daniel, you had said that, and so I called it the hopefully not the Hindenburg Hangout, hoping that it wouldn't crash and burn.
This is actually called the Hindenburg exploded on the launchpad Hangout.
Yeah, because it never got off the ground. So after I rebooted, I don't know why people say reboot to fix problems with your computer. Mine always works less well when I reboot.
That's Windows 10 for you.
Well, I got into Firefox. For some reason, my webcam wouldn't work in Firefox. So I pulled it up with Chrome. The webcam worked in Chrome, but then Chrome windows wouldn't show up in OBS. And I just gave up. I was like, okay, no! I'll try in Hangouts. And it was when Hangouts wouldn't work. It's like, all right, fine. I'll try this some other time. So here we are.
Iron Fury. I feel like I know that name from somewhere.
That's Dave.
Oh, hey, Dave. How you been?
Dave Turcotte.
Oh, man. It's been a while.
By the way, we got Atomic ANCAP in there, too.
Yeah.
Everyone check out his channel if you haven't.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why this is on the main channel instead of the live streams. I wanted to kind of let everyone know what had happened with all that.
There's some pretty decent debates with fascists.
Well, fascists. Another person's fascist and another person's statist and such. Which,
I like
the definition of fascist seems to be the definition of fascist seems to be anyone who disagrees with me. So
we've got a weeb, a nerd, a sci-fi nut, and then the rest of you guys.
Wait, which one am I? I fit like 3 of those categories.
That would be you, Shane. I'm the Spurg, Daniel's the weeb, and Charles is the wrestling fan.
I'm just here.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you about the drama getting this going because this Hangout almost didn't go. Like an hour and a half before the Hangout, same thing happened. Windows rebooted. Black screen. Kept rebooting, black screen. Had to go into safe mode. For some reason, my Windows machine will only work in 1024 by 768. So I've got this wonderful, nice, big Dell 4K monitor, and I'm looking at it in 1024 by 768, and this is really not the way you're supposed to do it these days. So,
switch to Apple, bro.
I'd love to switch to Linux if I can get everything I need running on Linux.
But anyway, some major cuckery is afoot on the English Isles because Tommy Robinson was arrested by the thugs in the British police and you guys are gonna hate this.
Didn't Hoodie Demon recommend Trudeau Tom at some point? Sorry,
I don't know.
He was live streaming outside of a courthouse where a grooming gang trial was going on.
Well, I hear that
what
he
trial was going on?
It was
A grooming gang. It was a Muslim grooming gang trial.
trial. And
So, well, hold on. What is that?
People who basically they try to PG it and such is a game that's grooms children to have grooms children for sexual assault. That's pretty much what that grooming gang is.
That wasn't very
basically a pedophile
PG, bro. That wasn't very PG at all.
I know, but I'm trying to. And now this video is demonetized, so I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I don't monetize my own stuff, anyways, Charles. I'm not even mad.
Yeah, I never know what YouTube does with Hangouts as far as monetization. It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Oh, but see, Wednesday's quickie. Check it out because it was demonetized and manually confirmed. See if you can figure out why, because it's just a logical fallacy. I'll go ahead and give you a spoiler. It's the argument from Apocalypse.
We talking the planet or the mutant?
No, just the fear mongering.
I know it was a comic book joke.
Yeah.
I know it was a comic book joke.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Says the weeb.
Anyway, I'm just just the whole situation seems to be, all it is making him into a martyr, and now he's going to be more popular and more famous, which they seem not to get. They don't to get that in the whole mess.
Hey, status we're talking about here, man. They don't get much of anything.
Rainbow Asteroids is asking what I need to run on Linux. It's mostly Sony Vegas. Reaper at least will run under Wine. If not, I don't remember the name of it. There's another good DAW that's open source that's really, from what I've seen, a lot better than Audacity that a lot of people are swearing by. But, I mean, there really aren't any NLEs that run on Linux that are really ready for prime time. So that, I think, is...
And Ryan Ominous says, #free Bearing. What's up with that?
Bearing was kicked off of YouTube.
C쏘sᴜ!
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Rest in peace, everybody's eardrums.
Oh, I could do more damage to you.
Oh, do not get in the competition, YouTube. Come on. Let's not do that.
You know how we are.
I know very much how you are. That's why it should never be allowed to happen. I might have to prohibit
It's like a Super Saiyan
in the same
screaming
Hangout.
contest. Yeah, I'm a weeb too, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Oh, it looks like it ain't working on Dave.
It never works on Dave. Dave's too cool for it.
Dave is super fine. Wait, no, superplex.
Don't encourage the wrestling fan.
Huzzah! Yeah, I'm looking all
And
the.
yes, hold on. Yes, Sugar Tits is on, and she's been posting videos for Bearing. And Bearing, and a lot of us are also over on BitChute. So check.
By the way, that reminds me. Any wrestling fans watching, or any gamers, check out the Superplex Brothers.
All right, let's go ahead. That's it. That would be pretty cool. Go check them out.
All right, and that's
myself. But anyway, what is the huge topic that we're going to talk about today that hopefully will piss off somebody?
The only thing I'm thinking right now is how much Windows sucks and how glad I am I make nightly images of my system disk, because that's what I'm doing. As soon as I leave here, I'm re-imaging the mofo. So you guys can talk about whatever you want.
Well, let's see.
Well, Dapperton's back in action, thank God.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he got his channel back.
Thank you, Trusted Flagger. You're awesome.
And I understand he's working on bearing, so hopefully he'll be able to.
Well, just hoping. Well, but let's see what other stuff here.
Oh, and Bearing has another channel that's just called Patrick, and so I think you might be upping some stuff there.
But it's I'm actually want to, if you want to go and talk about something, how about there's a interesting person I follow on Twitter.
Just 1 second, one quick update before you go. Dave says 7-star podcast is my new project now. We're on SoundCloud, so check it out.
All right, 7 stars. 2 more stars than that hack Dave Meltzer, so that's a plus.
Wait.
Yes, Wrestling Insider that thinks way too highly of himself. Anyway, back to this. It's a really.
By the way, Johnny, was that elongated O a challenge?
No, it was not. No, it was not. No
Who
challenge.
knows how I operate?
All right. But anyway, back to the point. Twitter follow, Gospel Panacea. Really interesting dude. He is. I think he's more like the ANCAP. He's basically a Christian ANCAP. Very rare to find one of those these days. Is that he goes on?
Quite a few of those.
Oh yeah, but he talked about one thing that I need to find the thing here. You could see if because I love this tweet from him, and this right here. He has a Twitter. I don't know Twitter, but he has a tweet. It says, "When Caesar is Lord." He has a church, and it has nothing but American flags. It's just like all American flags around this church, and he's like, at this point, you can't. The old saying, you can't serve 2 masters. And see, more often than not, the so-called Christian majority seems to be more falling in line with the state than the Lord. And it seems that it's like, the whole saying, like I said, you can't serve 2 masters. More often than not, these same Christians, these same people who are the moral majority would basically serve, I think they would serve Caesar before they would serve, God itself. And that's one of the main problems.
Yes, it seems the state is the God that just about every group seems to worship.
And that's to me is that's the worrying part, is that even if you have no religion and stuff, it seems like the state and everything else around it, it's like sacrosanct. It is the one true thing that if you don't believe in this, you are a heretic, you are horrible, that sort of thing. It goes down to everything. Even if you want to say third parties and such, you are labeled as the worst thing ever. I mean,
Well, that's what happens.
I'm going to stop you guys there because
they shrug off religion.
The one true,
but they continue worshiping the state.
Fortunately, Johnny and I worship our Lord and Savior, Our Lady of Despair.
All right, I'm going to cut the weeb off right now because I was going to say we worship the flying spaghetti monster.
I worship Joe Pesci.
And I'm not going to say their name because spoilers.
Oh well. But yeah, it is but it's funny. Oh, by the way, Night Shift 1000, good point. It says Christian conservatives Americans only worship the state, claim Jesus was American and a cop lover, and that cops are God angels that can do no wrong. That's a lot of truth here.
That's because say,
and if these are the same Christians, yeah, the same Christians, that would have not read the Bible or anything else.
Bye, Isaac Foot. Have a good one.
They haven't. Have a little time. So long. Farewell.
But they have not, because Jesus was, again, probably was really radical. I mean, heck, he stood up to the money lenders and people who are actually taking money from, money, making money off the gospel. Nowadays in this country, I mean, that's one of the main things you can make. That's one way you can make a mint, is making money off the gospel.
But isn't money lending what expands the economy?
Yeah, but he shouldn't have said, the gospel. The gospel is supposed to be like some.
And let's talk about that 10th commandment: "Thou shalt not covet." Okay, does that not entirely nix the free market there?
Oh yeah,
what is the free market? It's not coveting. Come on, yeah.
And coveting doesn't seem to care about your fairy tales.
But I think
I have absolutely zero idea what you're on about.
Well, I'm just saying that's the morality and such, and people who will give up. So they say that they are so moral and so, it's higher.
Meme
But
says, "What kind of uncultured people are you? The one true God is cack." That's an old meme, sir.
It checks out.
Excuse me, praise Ottawa.
But yeah,
excuse me. I got nothing to top that. Curse you and your Danganronpa references, Daniel. Curse you.
Oh yes.
Black Spruce, you might want to check out Romans 13 there where it basically says that everyone in all the governments was put there by God, otherwise they wouldn't be allowed to lead, and therefore we should obey them.
Hold on, you guys, I gotta get some Fiji. My throat's starting to get shot from all these.
Render into Caesar. It's
BRB,
something.
boys.
I'm not even talking about that part. Romans chapter 13. Read it.
Oh yeah, but it is. It's these things. Again, I just worry about people who just say that they are so into this, but yet they will basically. Just say they will cut off that, that one thing that I think, Christianity, we know we can point out to all the negative stuff, and I'll be right there with you, but I look at the positive things of how it can bring up people and lift up, the good humanity work is, and then it's just stifled by all this greed and control and telling people how to, telling people that, to follow the preacher instead of follow the the word of God and everything else. That the preacher is sacrosanct and such. And
but that's what happens when your book aren't consistent. It's the big book of multiple choice, and you can read whatever you want to in it.
Yeah, but it is. It's just that's just my thing. But it just
all right, I'm back. What I miss?
Just some other stuff about pointless babble and such. But again, I'm rambling. If you don't mind that, but let's see. Let's see what other things I can talk about that not going to piss
Black
everyone else.
I got 4 words for you. The left can't be.
Yeah, but let's see.
Then again, they can't do much of anything. I mean, what happened to their blue wave? Am I right?
Let's see. What else I can talk about? Let's see. Look. Zack Snyder is going to do his next project is going to be adaptation of Ayn Rand's Fountainhead, and every person in my nerd Twitter is just saying he's the worst person ever now. Even though I can pick out many names in Hollywood.
On, Status.
Now, who is this?
His sister committed suicide. Don't make me send Daniel with a friggin' excavator.
Daughter, actually. And Zack Snyder, the one who was a director of Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and other stuff before. And yeah, he is a family man. And I'm like, everyone's getting to the point of like, they just going on slamming the dude. I'm like, really? Have you not seen what's going on in the cesspit of Hollywood? And you're going to, because he made a bad movie and such, y'all getting all this hate on him. I'm like, I sit and laugh. I'm like, have you not heard about the dude called Harvey Weinstein and such? I'm like, this is why I can't.
That piece of human debris.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, wait a minute, y'all need to get your priorities straight. This is why most of them are on the left.
Most memes said, does anyone know these Christians which argue that modern society wouldn't exist without Christianity? I can hate them.
I think, I don't know. Again, I feel like I'm.
Well, you could argue that modern society wouldn't exist without slavery. That doesn't make it right.
Yeah. You can modern society can talk about all these other things. It's
I think there should be a name for that called the foundation fallacy.
It's probably already there.
I like it,
but. Yeah, again, I always look at some people who are just, they hear Ayn Rand, they think, the lofty, evil ANCAP or whatever, Ayn Rand believes, and they think, oh, she's just a dictator. I'm like, she's subject to this. I think that's the furthest way from being a dictator out there. If there was a line, I think the objectives is like really close.
You shouldn't have encouraged me, Shane.
Having fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm the biggest buzzkill on planet Earth. Anyway, Dave, how's it going?
I'm a
Sorry,
lot.
I used your monster impression in one episode of Bagosity.
Oh well, that's okay. That's okay, but it is funny.
I was
Got
talking to
an
Dave.
offer for me I can't refuse.
Yeah, that.
That's.
Well, what do you think this is? You think that you can come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding and come to me and ask me for these favors without owing me something
Okay,
in
Joe
return?
Pesci, take it easy.
First off, that'd be Marlon Brando.
Brando,
Hey,
you uneducated swine.
For real.
It's called a joke, Charles.
Not a good one.
You know if Atomic is a patron or?
I don't know if he is or not. He's a YouTuber. He used to be known as Capitalist Kid.
He did say he wants to join the.
He wants to join the show.
Send me a message on Hangout, Atomic. I'll get you the link.
Yeah. Shoot us a hangout.
All right.
Shane will shoot you the link. It'll be 100% cool.
Oh well, but anyway, just like I said,
But like I said, Dave, we got a Spurg, a Weeb, a sci-fi nerd, and a wrestling fan.
2 of them. Anyway, Dave, thanks again for joining my Discord, by the way. So you know.
Wait, you have a Discord and you didn't tell me, Thomas.
Well, honestly, I'm starting to get the whole thing set up eventually. It's still a bit of bare bones.
I've had my Discord forever.
I will eventually
You're
get
killing me, Smalls.
I will.
Duke CT45. I'm not sure I should share it.
No. Go ahead and share it. You know, people gonna. What's gonna work? I can just pump right out anyway. But yeah, it's
45 pound 0275.
That's something. Anyway, just looking at all the other stuff on the other on the other things, the Discord stuff I'm a part of. Man, if only I can find a way to use Discord and to use TalkShoe and Discord together, I would never use Skype again. But you
just need to click a voice channel at voila.
Let me try something like that.
I never use Skype anymore. Like, I may as well delete it.
Yeah, me either.
Skype is useless.
Oh god.
Then again, it's made by the same company with the words micro and soft in its name.
I'm guessing there's someone who assumed, someone who's argued Skype was a natural monopoly at some point.
Wouldn't surprise me.
All right.
Maybe I'll try to hang out through Discord if we can get one of these things on Discord going, and then I'll share it through OBS.
That's the thing. That's you gotta do it right.
I was trying to do it through Jitsi Meet because the nice thing about Jitsi Meet is it doesn't use a central server, so there's nothing like chewing it all up, and you just get like the whatever it belches out. All of the audio goes and video goes straight to everyone else, so you should get much better quality. But
some dude posting memes asked, "Is anyone online on the Lord Shane Killian Discord?" Excuse me, the Discord name is Lord Killian, sir.
Well, there's actually 2 of them. There's the Lord Killian Discord and there's the Bagosity Discord.
Lord Richard Killian.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess to the crowd, I should probably explain who the fuck I actually am, because they probably don't know me. I used to be a host on Bagosity.
I got this question, boys.
Okay.
Night Shift 10,000 in the chat asks, okay, on a serious note, who do you think is hotter, Lauren Southern or Tommy Lahren?
And the crowd goes dead.
I guess we don't have an answer for that one.
Anyway.
Yeah, Dave, you were catching everyone up on who you are.
Yeah, I used to be a co-host on Bagosity. I was the guy that said fuck a lot.
And yet we weren't demonetized for that. So
imagine my shock. Must be that Lucky Misfits shirt you're rocking.
Maybe.
All right, now we got
there was
a weeb, a sci-fi fan, a metalhead, and a wrestling fan.
Yeah, there was a while there. I mean, because when I started, it's like, okay, I don't want to get the over 18 rating thing on iTunes.
And then I came around.
And for a while there, I was like, fuck it, they're just words. Let's say fucking shit all over the shitty fucking place. And then I don't know. We just went back
now
to
some
not
posting
cussing. I don't know what it was.
Who's hotter, Thunderfoot or Elon Musk? Does it look like we're gay?
Well,
Do
I
you
can't
really want
speak
me to
for
answer
you.
that question?
I can't speak for you.
Excuse me?
Just saying.
Hey, it's not called being gay. It's called being fabulous.
Welcome to my world. Dave? Dave! Dave! I think Lord Killian is hotter than Elon Musk.
I didn't know you were anorexia.
So, would you say you have a boner for Lord Killian?
How did this hangout degenerate so quickly?
Don't ask.
I'm here.
Normally we talk about philosophy and history and all sorts of stuff. And
I mean, you can't even blame me for this one.
no,
That's the fucked up part. You can't even blame me for this.
I blame the weed.
Oh my god! Everything.
Oh my god. Okay. Let me go like myself.
All right, sit down, Chuckles. It wasn't that funny.
Look who's talking.
Seeing everything come to such a
Also, building gamer set up
I might have to
turned
mute
into a
Johnny if this
WTF
continues for
moment.
too much longer. I'd have to put him in timeout or something.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
All right, someone pick a topic.
All right.
I got one. I want to hear what you guys think about this.
All right, lay it on us, bro.
You probably heard about the Kendrick Lamar situation. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
You'll have to get me up to speed on that.
Basically, a white girl dropped the N-bomb while she was rapping Kendrick's
Oh,
latest song.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Night Shift
yeah.
10,000 asks, oh wow, what did I start here?
Thanks a lot, Night Shift.
I mean, when
Yeah,
you
thanks
invite
a
someone
freaking
on
eight, boy.
stage to rap a song that you wrote and that you put the N-word in and then complain when she says the
18
N-word.
times?
No.
Gay abortion. What the?
What really annoys the shit out of me is not only are they painting this girl who was basically set up, she was set up to be humiliated. They basically not only made her look like this big racist, but they're making him seem like this anti-racist hero for doing this when he basically set her up to fail. And not for nothing, but from what I've gathered from people I talk to who are fans of his music, she had front row tickets and they aren't cheap. So she paid a lot of goddamn money to be humiliated. And that's bullshit.
Yeah.
What's going on in the chat? What in the actual...
Why don't we just ignore the chat for the next little bit?
Daniel has prepared a very special punishment for Night Shift for cucking up the stream. Roll it. I got nothing to say. Daniel's got this on lock.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm a piece of weeb garbage. Shit. Hello, Jordan.
I'm trying to say
Hello,
I cannot
guy
see
who
anything
put
on
one
this
in the
janky
dome.
screen. Remember when 1024 by 768 was high resolution? Yeah.
Unintentional weeb garbage is best weeb garbage.
Well, garbage is, in the mind, the side of the beholder. Some say garbage, some say garbage.
Memes. Some dude posting memes says, who is hotter, Venom Fang X or Vsauce?
No one even cares about that. Move on.
Obviously,
That's really scraping the bottom, Venom Fang X dragging him back up after all these years.
Yeah, that is just... No.
Whatever happened to him anyway?
No.
He just fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, well, he was gone for a while because his parents found out what he was up to and, gave him a good butt hurting or something. But then after he grew up, he came back and was like, yes, I'm back. I'm doing this. I'm going to do this forever.
Also,
and then he disappeared again.
Did I just walk it through into? You wandered into greatness, my friend.
Anyway, Shane, as you were saying.
Yeah, and so he came back and then said, yeah, I'm back now. I'm doing all this and I'll never stop. And then he kind of disappeared again. So I don't know what happened.
Oh. Because he was like kind of big like 12 years ago and then just disappeared.
He just gone. He was just here for a second and then gone and then tried to come back and then disappeared again.
He's this big young Earth creationist for people who wonder who we're talking about.
Oh boy. Young Earth creationists. Freaking story of my freaking life. And the masked vegan just took the words right out of my mouth.
All right, something topical this time.
Okay, so
Sunscreen?
I have this skin irritation.
Har, har, har.
Not gonna lie, Daniel, that was pretty funny. In a dark Bruce Jenner or Colin Kaepernick. Oh! No! No! God, please, no! No! What the? Oh, God! No! Oh, God! Oh!
No, the Earth was created last Thursday with all our memories already intact. Prove me wrong.
Actually, it gets recreated every other Thursday.
What are you two on about?
Last Thursdayism.
What?
And it'll be recreated
and Night
next
Shift.
Thursday.
And Night Shift, who somehow survived whatever it is you had planned for him, says, so I had this rash of my unmentionables.
Don't mind me and Charlie. We're just sitting here.
Yeah, you guys
are the ones who usually won't shut up.
We're like the
I
old
don't even
guard.
know what Shane's doing.
No idea what these young bloods are doing. No idea.
All right, new topic.
Arceus created the elements.
And in other news, I have some ice on my Fiji water. I blame you for this, Daniel.
Are you there, Charlie, or just step out?
He had to collect himself from the cuckery we just witnessed.
Yeah, I think he's recovering.
What has been seen cannot be unseen.
What else has been going on when I've been kicking around my computer trying to get it to work?
Well, let's see.
Alright, I'm gonna check the fake news crap because this stuff's just gold. Oh, Trump slammed for Memorial Day tweet.
You know what? I have something to say about that without actually talking about the story itself. I am sick and fucking tired of all these news stories saying this person got slammed or this person got blasted. It's like they're just saying something. You make it sound way worse than it is, and most of the time they say this about shit that's fucking nothing. It's like somebody says something wrong, they get slightly corrected. He was blasted. He was shot with a gun. It's like, simmer down. Simmer down.
Raven with a pretty valid point says, isn't last Thursdayism called Alzheimer's?
Actually, college.
So what was the tweet then?
All right, I'm gonna check the God Emperor's personal Twitter at RealDonald.
Goddamn right, I slam exaggerated titles. Fuck that clickbait bullshit.
Actually, College Humor did a pretty funny video on that. Hold on, I gotta look at the chat.
If you haven't been following the continuing saga on Dark Banner 2525, he's been redoing, all these Bible stories, and there's one where
I just checked the follow.
God, it involves God, having this unholy demon, come up and mess with people's minds, and so they actually depict God going down and talking to Lucy, and it says, "Yeah, we really need something special for this." It says, "Okay, what we have here." Hold on, Johnny. Hold on. It says, "What we have here is a crossover of two of our biggest demons who have had their spawn, and this is the spawn of BuzzFeed and InfoWars."
Ooh.
You know, it's like the top 10 ways 9/11 was an inside job. You know, all sorts of
And you won't believe what happened at number 8.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, Joseph Fanning with a mommy-related question.
All right, go ahead. Question. What's the question?
Wait, Daniel, didn't I have you as an AIM buddy before it got shut down?
Did you? I don't think so.
Someone, somebody, did something with the AIM. That's somebody. I mean, by the way,
Hawkeye, I know I had, and Wraith, who I haven't seen in ages.
I was
So anyway,
right
what was that
there.
tweet then?
All right, hang on. All right.
How long have you had to look that up?
It only took me like a few seconds, but it was just a tweet storm by our God Emperor. Nothing new there. But then again, the media is straight up addicted to this tabloid stuff Trump keeps dropping on our heads.
And that's the video I mentioned earlier.
So, DJ Arms asks, so what are your thoughts on Thunderfoot busting Elon Musk?
I didn't even watch the last one. I figured because next month they're supposed to have that speed test. See how that goes and then see what Thunderfoot has to say about that. But this was something about how, they're all going to crash and burn and tear everything to shreds. And it's like, okay, let's say he's right. Here's something that Thunderfoot doesn't get about engineering.
The Hyperloop?
That's what you want to happen right now because you know what you've designed isn't perfect. So you want it to fail so you can fix the problems.
Exactly. So it could continue to, what was the issue? What was their problem? So they can fix it. It's called, again, it's that type of on the field stuff. It's just not ready for market or anything. I mean, I think that's what is his problem. So he thinks, okay, let me just go blast him. Like, fine. But you do realize this stuff is not ready for market. That's the thing. And
and actually, if you go through the tests without things going wrong, engineers start to get a little skittish. They're like, well, wait a minute, nothing is going wrong.
Oh, by the way,
they're
Shane,
expecting that means something really is going to go wrong when they release it.
By the way, Shane, Atomic is still waiting for a link.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Atomic, send me a message in Hangouts and I'll give you the link.
Yeah, Atomic, he wants you to send him a PM.
Yeah, because you seem like a pretty cool guy, Atomic.
He does.
Not like me. I'm just an asshole.
That's why we love you.
Well,
yeah, you're kind of
our
anti-me. I'm usually a nice guy, very chill. Bye-bye. I'm sorry, I had family over. Anyway. You're like the anti-me. I'm a pretty chill guy. Usually just very chill.
I don't know. You seem to get triggered every 10 minutes or so.
Whoa!
Don't say it, Shade.
Whoa, you gotta warn me if you're gonna say that. You gotta warn me if you're gonna talk about being triggered.
I meant about
trigger you
Star
by
Wars.
talking about being triggered?
Yes.
You're triggered by being triggered.
Yes.
Huh? I am
triggerception.
I get triggered when people get triggered.
Nightshade says when he hits 16, he's going to be able to get any girl he wants. Sir, I'll have you know, I am 4 years older than that.
And still can't get any girl he wants.
Oh! Why'd you have to remind me, Shane?
I mean, you kind of walked into that one.
Yeah.
How could I not? It was just
the only reason I didn't is because Shane was faster.
Star Wars is gay.
Oh, that's nice.
But Shane's pretty fast in general, just not Heather.
Oh, that was nice. Oh, anyway, I had to head out because I got some other stuff I got set up for my own live stream, and playing some Kingdom Hearts 2 later on. So I'll talk to you guys later. All right, it's nice
right,
fun
thanks for
talking to y'all,
stopping by.
man. And
Peace
hopefully I
out.
wasn't too
Peace out, Charles.
draining.
Hey, Charles.
All right, peace.
Incels versus feminists, says Black Spruce.
All right, now that Charles
What are
is gone,
incels?
what an asshole! No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, let's talk about Charlie now. He's gone.
Anyway, incels are basically involuntary celibates, Shane. You remember the Toronto attack? You know, the attack in Toronto, Canada? Basically, they blamed it on incels and an incel rebellion where they wanted to overthrow all Chads and Stacys. Don't ask.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, Atomic wants you to send the link to him via Discord.
Okay, I'll have to get over to the Discord screen, which is like 10 miles wide on this screen right now. Hang on.
Why didn't PM you on Discord?
Okay, I know Atomic is in. I'll send him the link.
Oh, Black Spruce said Elliot Roger was an incel. Incel subreddit worshipped him before they got banned.
If you can send it to him, Daniel, go ahead.
I hate to rain on your metaphorical parade, but
All right.
wasn't he an incel because his ego is about the same size as that giant fist rocket?
Let's see. Yeah, so damn it, where are you, Atomic? I can't find you on this. I know you were on this server.
Hold it.
Ah, there you are.
Damn it. There we go.
Message. And
Froman Bearings channel is down. Night Shift says he was incel because he was a gamma male.
like Bruce Banner?
Oh my god! I walked into that one again.
I hate you both. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah,
Hate you
hopefully
both.
Atomic will come in and save us from ourselves. And
Autism is unstoppable. We are the master race.
Atomic, please get here and save us from ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, from them.
Yes, our hands, our fate, only a child will be able to save us.
And that child is not Atomic Ant Cap. Tech is alive, says some dude posting memes. See, this is exactly it. This is the Hindenburg exploding on the friggin' launch pad.
Oh man, the May Hangouts in more ways than one have just been.
Oh shit! I sent you a YouTube link. Hold on. Damn it. Yeah.
Yep. This is just falling apart.
Okay, that was my bad.
This was just not the month for this. It just wasn't.
Okay, I will get the link again.
Black Spruce then asks, what about Omega males?
With Charlton Heston?
What? All right, now.
The Omega Man, come on!
Oh, yeah. And Atomic Ant Cap says, you sent me a college humor video, lol.
That was my bad. Sorry, Atomic.
And DJ Arms says, so does anyone know about the arrest of Tommy Robinson? We already discussed that.
Did we discuss it live, or was that before we went on?
I think we discussed it live. I have a very good memory.
Yeah, but we talked. I think most of what we talked about was before we went live.
While we're on the subject of suing McDonald's, a couple in Florida, because it's always Florida, sued McDonald's over extra cheese on a quarter pounder.
Wow, that is so cheesy.
Ah!
Okay. None of that.
I think I think Johnny needs a nap. That's just all there is to it. You're irritable, Johnny.
Get that boy some Ambien.
He has become Johnny the homicidal maniac.
God, that's a comic I haven't heard in about 15 years.
I could do this all day, man.
Please don't.
Seriously. But seriously, though, what is it about this state, Dave? What is it about Florida State? The water?
It's the New Jersey of the South. What do you expect?
They're very litigious.
English, please.
They like suing people.
Yes, prone to litigation.
But then again, all right, if somebody could drop a Florida Man meme to save the stream from becoming a giant pile of flaming meteor debris, that would be nice.
You gotta be careful about things like that with Johnny. I tried to describe the bootstrap paradox to him once, and I think his brain melted, and he still hasn't recovered.
Oh, Johnny! You want to have your head melt? Play
oh God, no!
9 persons, 9 doors.
Love
it.
9 persons.
Pandemic Gamer says autism causes vaccines.
9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Fair enough.
It's actually by the same company that did Danganronpa.
There's a
and
comic.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That was also done by Spike Chunsoft.
Really?
You know. Just thought I'd let you know that, Daniel.
Can you guys hear me?
There you are.
Hello.
Hey, you're a little quiet. Might want to turn it up a bit.
But you're a little on the quiet side. But anyway, I'm John Peterson, your friendly neighborhood Spurg. The weeb next to me is Daniel.
Hi there.
Shane. And this guy is David.
You know we show up at on a different order on everyone's screens, right?
I've never seen him called David. Only Dave.
I am Dave.
The Barbarian.
That was actually a pretty good show.
Yeah, I'm actually using.
Stop misgendering me! Oh my! You're here to save this stream. Don't screw it up,
Johnny. Hold on, Johnny. What was
Don't
that?
apologize to him. He's just going to interrupt everybody. You should just be used to that.
He's worse than Chris.
What?
It's not a high bar.
At least I'm not reminded of Richie from from It.
Well, I mean, Chris...
Okay, so. Dang it.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry if the audio sounds bad. I'm actually on. I'm not at my setup. I have to use I'm using my phone with Apple earplugs. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You sound fine to me, so.
Yeah, you sound okay.
Yeah, a little on the quiet side, but I mean, you're coming through clear.
Oh, okay.
What do you want to talk about tonight?
Me?
Sure. Because the rest of us are out of topics.
Not sure.
Yeah, usually I'm the one who invites the shit stirrers, so...
That's not true. I invited myself.
Well, then again, we did say co-hosts and Patreon supporters, so...
Yeah, but this is Atomic ANCAP. He's cool.
Yeah, I actually did say, if I don't meet the criteria and you don't want me on, that's fine.
The criteria is whoever I say can come on, really. I mean, as long as there's enough slots that that any patrons want to come on can, that's fine. And we can have up to 10. We got 5 now, so you're fine.
How terrible The Last Jedi was.
Oh, no!
Don't even
get us started on that utter. You're just looking Christmas here, buddy.
Oh my god! I actually made a review on that movie. Granted, it wasn't very good, but the movie wasn't any good either.
What movie are we talking about now?
Last Jedi.
I haven't even seen it. I haven't seen any of the new Star Wars movies.
Well,
I saw the first new one.
The OC Awakens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the current set of Star Wars movies at all.
I like Force Awakens okay, but I liked it better when it was A New Hope.
Actually, I liked it better when it was called Legacy of the Force.
Actually, I liked it better when it wasn't a thing.
No, I'm sorry. It was A New Hope revamped. That's what it was. It was the same story.
Shane, if you've read the Legacy of the Force books, you would know that, like, the whole thing, from not Jaina Solo killing fighting not Darth Kaitis, is a complete ripoff.
Yeah, but that shit don't count no more.
Yeah, I have no polite response. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, they did it, not me.
All Star Wars movies are... Yes, Luke... yeah. That is why I'm not mad at Mark Hamill for reprising his role as Luke Skywalker, because, let's face it, he is the premier Joker voice. Did Mask Regent just say that name I said I didn't want to hear or see? Because I hate Ryan Johnson, a little son of
Well, it looks like we're
you're killing me here!
Also, sorry if I'm making anyone's ears bleed.
I was gonna say, is he dead?
Yeah.
Did he die?
You guys can't see it, but I'm currently in the fetal position right now.
Just lie down, Johnny. Just go nappy poo.
Johnny, you look more broken than I was by the time I finished V3.
That's because I actually saw The Last Jedi.
Oh my god, you poor thing!
I actually saw it too in the theater. It was horrible.
Oh, you poor bastard. May any God that's up there have mercy on your soul.
Atwa, have mercy.
On our sanity!
Thank you, Pangea Gamer.
Oh, Trenchy.
Trenchy,
They're there.
Or ours?
They're there. Also, Johnny, you were right about my transitions.
Why?
What about your transitions?
The fact that they were like 10 seconds long.
Huh.
Yeah, it's really best when things like that go quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that problem. I haven't made a video in over a year.
That's one thing about
Black
Esoteric
Bruce
Entities
liked the
videos,
last
because his little introductory thing is like 20 seconds long, but there's so little to it. I mean, it should be more like, 5. You show the thing, you play the music, say Esoteric Entity, you get to it, Just feels kind of long when there's not much more to it.
Shane, unless my glasses are really foggy, Black Spruce just said, am I the only one who didn't hate Last Jedi?
Well, I haven't seen it, so.
Alright,
Bruce,
good.
you're gonna have
Get out!
to delete this, please.
I haven't seen it, and I can't
Delete
hate
that
something I
statement.
haven't seen.
Delete that statement, sir.
I mean, if you haven't seen something, you can't hate it, right? I mean, this wouldn't be fair.
Delete the statement.
Try me.
Delete the statement, sir.
Delete it.
Post it more.
What?
Just keep
What
spamming.
have you just said, heretic?
What was that?
Exterminate!
Spit on him, Brutus! I rebuke you!
And that was a terrible Dalek voice.
Oh, you want to see me make exterminate? Oh,
You are not doing the Dalek voice correctly!
Oh my god.
You don't even need a voice filter to do the Dalek voices right.
Oh, and before any of you ask, no, I am not stealing Soyo of the SJW Wars story.
Night Shift 1000. To answer your question, Blair White is both.
Whoever Blair White is.
You do
He's
not
a,
know who Blair White is.
Conservative trans YouTuber.
shoot.
Missed that
She
one.
was the one
got
that
blocked by her.
I don't know if you remember this, Shane, but she was
Oh,
the
I
one
remember it.
that
Let me
went
give him
through
the
like
TLDR.
she went through like Hollywood and shit wearing a Trump hat and got assaulted for it.
by some bloody soy boy cuck piece of.
Yes.
I know, it's one of the cases where there's too many videos like that.
Also, Lucasfilm is only casting more female roles because they can get away with paying them less.
What?
Fun fact, I've actually been blocked by Blair White.
Wow.
For what?
I called her out on something shady that she did with one of her like merchandise artists.
Oh.
What'd you do?
Oh, basically, I'd have to pull up the tweet again. I don't remember exactly what I said, but Night
Shift have something. Before we move on here, Night Shift has something directed at you, man.
Okay, I'll read it.
Atomic ANCAP, like I said before, you're awesome. You're going to have no problem getting laid when you're 16. And a bunch of dead air.
Okay.
So anyway, you were saying.
Thank you, Night Shift. Anyway, I don't know what she did. I'd have to pull up the tweets again. She did something with one of her artists, Blair White, her merchandise artist. And I don't know. I screenshotted all the tweets.
Nope, he's gone.
What? What happened?
Maybe Steve Shabs got to him.
He just dropped.
Oh, crap.
I blame you for this, Daniel. If it wasn't for that Dalek voice, he would still be here.
Oh, dear.
There you are.
Hey,
so
welcome
anyway,
back.
you said something about Blair White doing something with one of her merchandise artists?
9. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the tweets again. I think she fired her.
Black Spruce, no lie, there are actual flat earthers out there that say Australia is a conspiracy and doesn't really exist.
You do realize you just offended a lot of Australians, right, mate?
That's Australian erasure.
Fucking crikey, mate.
It's almost as bad as being homophobic.
Or in my case, skirtophobic. Hey, you set me up for that one.
Okay, this phone is literally the epitome of that one meme where it's like, go back to sleep and starve.
Huh?
I hate my phone too, so I know your pain.
I can't say anything as much as my computer's been screwing up.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was looking through my photos and it kicked me out because I was on a different app for too long, apparently.
Yeah, sorry guys. Atomic seems to be phoning in his performance.
Ow!
Oh.
Ow!
I hate you. I hate you so much.
And Capist. I would stop using that language, or else I'm gonna call your mommy.
Or
Yeah, Android started doing that too.
I'm
It's like
kidding.
if you have something in the background for too long, it'll close it out. But you can tell it not to do that. You can set an app to be always on.
Yeah, I need to do that again, because you know how if you don't get YouTube Red or whatever new updates coming out with it, you have to. What do you have to do? You have to go in. I've lost my train of thought, apparently.
But I think even with YouTube Red, it's a permission now to continue running in the background.
Yeah. And basically, I think it's the same with Hangouts, because when you exit it for too long, it just cuts it out.
Can I get in on this conversation? No. We do not need any more of your stuff.
Anyway, before Blair White hacks your phone
Become
again,
a
why don't you
patron
finish
and
your
you can come
story?
right in. That's all you have to do.
Earth Chan is offended. All of you keep calling her flat.
Right, where could I send you the link, Night Shift?
Yeah.
Just become a patron. That's all you have to do. Patreon.gossipy.tv.
Yeah. Or make your support, but
I
what do
would
we
become
know,
a
right?
patron if I could.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm patron to a grand total of one creator, and once I get my levels up a little more, I'm going to do a couple more.
Sperm donation is evil. Sperm donor support, child support, or prison. Evil. Evil. Evil.
Okay.
You see, if I still had my my little soundboard thing would work with Hangouts and it was working with OBS, I could do that because I've got that sound of Mermaid Man. Evil! And I could just pop it right in.
Yeah,
Joseph Fanning has a question for me, of all people. Says, Johnny, does your elbow overextend when you held your arm out? It looked like it was pushing farther than 180 degrees. Dude, do I look like I'm an action figure to you?
Yes.
Hypermobility.
Do you really want us to answer that question, Johnny?
You want to see an example of hypermobility? Watch this.
Atomic ANCAP, what is that behind you? It smells of transgender.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called a dog.
Yeah, Atomic, I imagine if you would become a patron if it weren't for the damn child labor laws.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing how, kids want to set up, like either a lemonade stand or do a little something online or something, and they want to do some work and maybe be a little bit of an entrepreneur and make some money, and they keep running into all these laws.
Damn it, I saw that Marwin reference.
Come on, Trenchy. Let us do our stream. Also, who disliked this stream? We got a Spurg, a Weeb, a sci-fi guy, a metalhead, and an ANCAP.
Wait. Dagoth you heathen! Praise the 8 and 1.
It doesn't matter. Yog-Sothoth will eat you all.
We will find a person who disliked.
Oh, now we got 2 people disliking the bloody stream.
Anyone want me to rev up the helicopter? We're gonna need it.
This is not our normal fare for a live stream.
Why? Do we know where Johnny lives?
There's no labor like child labor.
I'll get some of my lefty friends to prepare the gulag.
Okay, now we're usually talking history and philosophy and all sorts. What's wrong with this tonight?
Okay. You want to talk about history and philosophy? I got one.
You're roboting, bro.
Okay. Me? Roboting?
Yeah, you're breaking up there, Atomic.
Damn Verizon.
Hey, my dad's business is on Verizon.
Okay, is it good now, or do I need to do
All
something?
right, you're
You're good.
golden, man. Go
You're
ahead.
good.
Okay. We could talk about the different ways that the state can be, I'm going to say, overthrown or dismantled.
Well, there's the various different revolutionary tactics: agorism, syndicalism.
Agorism is, that's my ideology.
I don't know if you'd call mine agorism or not. It's like, don't dismantle anything of the government, just set up competing things like, Bitcoin is a good example of that.
Well, that is.
But I think,
so that's basically
agorism is
agorism.
a little more focused on like actual civil disobedience, right? And not just setting up a legitimate competing agency.
It's more using black and gray markets as a revolutionary tactic, creating markets that may, for example, gray markets that are not necessarily illegal, but are not necessarily part of what is usually considered legally sanctioned.
So basically like Silk Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'd probably be me then.
Yeah. Me?
And there's a similar concept on the left called dual powers, which I know if you guys remember Ancom, he was big on that.
What is that?
Dual powers. Basically creating alternative structures to compete with the state and to be there.
Wait, didn't this agorism nonsense happen and led from Gaddafi being deposed to Libya becoming a hellhole?
I would like a link on that.
Yes.
No. I was just
I don't
wondering.
think that's what actually happened.
In Libya.
I was just wondering, that's all. But anyway, well,
There
you
has
guys can
been a
have
deal of it,
fun.
I think, in Somalia, because basically, with all the different competing governments they have down there, they weren't able to do things like stop people from setting up cell towers and regulate all of that. So you can't really have the formalized, centralized regulation. And so they just ended up with this amazingly good cell phone service. And I mean, you see pictures from people of Somalia and they're all dressed in faded, torn, ragged clothes, but they're all yakking on their cell phones.
Of course, the transhumanist in me is saying, instead of asking who will build the roads, we should ask, how can we eliminate the need for roads?
Well, and this is the point I've made before. What are roads but one huge subsidy to the gasoline-powered automobile industry? If that hadn't happened, what would we be doing? Would we have hovercraft? Would we have people movers? Would we have something,
In fact, most cities and towns used to be built around walking. Like, things were generally made to be in walking distance, but now they're just made to be further apart and you need a car to get anywhere.
Well, it was zoning that did that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have your business near where people are living, so yeah.
Yeah, Adam.
And then they do all these things like, oh, well, there has to be at least this much of a difference between houses, and you can't have more than one family dwelling on a lot of this size. And they do all that, and then they say, hey, what's all this suburban sprawl all about? Look at that market failure.
Yeah, they create an artificial demand for automobiles and gasoline. Yeah, I mean, you really want to talk about the problems with fossil fuels. It all goes back to, just how the state enforces automobiles as they are. Or rather, the need for them.
Well, I mean, it's that sort of thing that just lets me think that, they're not really that. I'm probably a lot more concerned about global warming than they are, because I wanted to build nuclear plants. There hasn't been, between 1978 and 2014, there were no new approvals for new nuclear reactors in the U.S. And I mean, that's crazy, but I mean, the leftist goes crazy like, no, nuclear power. It's like,
Honestly, I'm just hoping we can get nuclear winter to cancel it out.
but no, I mean, nuclear power is carbon free. It's even more carbon free than solar and wind when you look at production and not just the power generation.
Atom bomb, baby, atom bomb. I want you in my wigwam.
And we pretty much know that there's no real reason to have traffic lights, you know, with all the success of shared space and things like that. And I mean, how much time do people actually spend sitting there at a traffic light, you know, belching out pollution?
And of course, we can't wait to have our private nukes.
Atomic nukes.
Oh, Shane, to elaborate on that, people on average spend about 38 hours either stuck in traffic or at a street light. So
That's over what period?
over a year period as a whole, 38 hours.
That's about right.
Which,
I believe that.
Which, by the way, Atomic does have a video on McNukes.
Yes,
Don't
which I
want-
plan on making a follow-up to.
anyone
Because all
want-
all I get in the comments are, oh, but nukes can cause destruction. I can't talk today. I'm sorry.
anything can cause destruction. Well,
Yeah.
just about anything.
It's always easier to destroy than create.
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of the point of a nuke, but it's also the concept of mutually assured destruction that prevents people from using them.
The
Yeah.
deterrence
So-
factor.
Well, it's the same principle of why in areas with more firearms there are less shootings.
Yeah, something that was also commented at me was that in Ancapistan, people wouldn't. If someone fired a nuke, there'd be no one to stop it. Which I already kind of debunked by saying that there could be, private security or branches of private security that deal with the stopping nukes or disarming nukes or bomb squads and stuff like that.
How would they stop it now? We don't
I
have
guess-
anything that can stop a nuke.
Well, I guess you could use
Well, government is
what are
not.
those air to land to missile things?
Surface to air missiles.
I'm-
Yeah, I don't think
yeah,
they have
surface to air
any of those that
missiles.
are capable of taking down an ICBM, because I remember during the Reagan administration they were trying to build those, and then the Democrats, of course, just pitched a snit fit about it, and I don't think they ever got built. But I mean, if you were in Ancapistan and people did have nukes around everywhere and they were concerned about it, then yeah, you'd better believe people would be building them.
Yeah, because markets, they innovate due to competition. So that
And it's not
The-
even a case of, why should I care if they drop a nuke on Fred's house? Because if he's gone again. If they drop a nuke on Fred's house, I still get the radiation for it on my property. So I've got an incentive to help protect his property.
Yeah, I mean, people think that we're each all gonna be like these islands, like everything, all the shit's going on around our. Okay, it's not happening on my property, so I don't care.
Welcome back. Yeah,
I mean, to a point, that is kind of how I feel, but I'm also an asshole, so.
Yeah, but I mean, if it happens to someone who's that close to you and it's going to affect your property, then yeah, of course you're going to be concerned about it.
I don't think there's inherently anything wrong either with the idea of if it doesn't affect me or anybody I personally know, then I'm going to stay out of it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, to be honest.
See, you could argue that that's a better philosophy than just being a busybody all over the place.
Yeah, you're right. I have family who are way into local politics, and they're all fucking bureaucrats. They love it. They thrive off of it, and I don't get it.
I remember poor Travis had to deal with that crap all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
And just like
I
that,
think it's
the
just
chat
that-
is silent.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of, making it not worth someone's time and effort to try. If you try nuking us, then long before, it gets to its apex, you're already taken out. So, not to try it.
If we have to deal with 20-foot hornets in Ancapistan, we buy bug spray.
20-foot hornets
cans of-
in Ancapistan, and you're going to buy bug spray?
20-foot cans
Dude,
of bug spray.
No, I'd carry a flamethrower.
There you go.
I mean, fire is
3
strong against
flamethrowers.
bug. Pokemon joke. I know.
Yeah, but bug types suck.
That is actually not true. They got a lot better.
Really?
Yes. Around 6th gen.
Yeah, I am a dirty Gen 1er.
Eh. So anyway,
Well, we had a conversation going for 15 minutes there.
this is awkward.
And then
I
chaos.
I actually have another thing that I don't think is talked about much with ANCAPs. Hunting, in an ANCAP system. Just people going out to hunt.
I've heard it theorized that you'd have a lot more hunting with an anarcho-capitalist system.
Yeah, but there'd probably be, a lot of people still hunting, but what these protection groups for animals want to do is, they see that there are people who are poaching animals, and then they go, oh, well, this is horrible, right? We need to take measures to protect these animals, which only makes their value to poachers go up, and so they're hunted more.
Well, the only reason
Well, I mean, actually,
they're poached in places to hunt them.
In fact, one thing that often protects more animals is, ironically, trophy hunting safaris.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been beneficial in Africa to both elephants and rhinoceroses.
And to the population, and to the native people.
Yeah, because they can be dangerous.
Oh, and if you were to concede that poaching happens and that it's bad, then you also have to realize that the places where poaching happens a lot, or most of the time, is actually in places which aren't economically free. So
yeah,
you can't blame economic freedom on animals going extinct.
Well, it's a part of the black market, isn't it?
You gotta mind that index.
But the reason that it happens at a frequency that's high over there is because of how economically unfree they are. I'm sorry, I can't talk.
So far, that hasn't stopped a lot of people tonight.
Yeah.
Also, to comment on Black Spruce's bit about Pokemon, this is something I know about. So, apparently, it's going to be a remake of Gen 1, particularly Pokemon Yellow, which is weird, but that's what it's looking like. I don't know how they're going to do it, but...
What is the logic for making fighting types weak against bug types?
They're not weak against bug types. They resist each other.
Oh, wait, my bad, yeah.
They it was revealed that they filed for trademarks for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee Edition, and they did say how they wanted to do Gen 1 again for the Switch. So that's what it's likely going to be.
Another Gen 1 remake?
Yeah, one's likely going to be the Pikachu starter, and the other one's going to be an Eevee starter.
Eevee starter, that's new.
Yeah, yes and no. Yes in the main game, but not in the side games.
Ah. Also, you heard much about Detective Pikachu?
I know about it and I've seen footage of it, but it doesn't look like it's really for me.
Yeah, I'm a huge mystery genre nerd, so...
I have no idea what you two are talking about.
Yeah, I like video games. It's a video game
Me
thing.
neither. I'm trying to get into the conversation, but I have no clue what you guys are talking about.
Also, Generation 4 is the fucking worst. Don't at me, bro.
Oh, you're talking about Pokemon. Okay.
Yeah.
I figured that much out, but I know next to nothing about Pokemon, so...
I used to know a lot about Pokemon. I used to have, like, every Mega Evolution for, like, each card.
Oh, you play the card game. I play competitively, like the regular game.
Yeah, I was obsessed back in the day. Got this Pokemon handbook at a book sale at school, and just really got into the
You know
details.
what? I'm going to address this now because somebody said Gen 4 is the bomb. No, Gen 4 is fucking trash. Okay. First off, the only thing good about Gen 4, you have the good Pokemon. I will give it that. Has a great soundtrack. It implemented a good special physical split because God knows the series needed it, but that is about it. Who the fuck thought, you know what? Everybody likes HMs. Let's put them every fucking where and make you have to use 8 of them just to get around this piece of shit map that's a pain in the ass to fucking go through. I could go on for hours about the fucking defog sections where you literally have accuracy checks because they decide, you know what? We all need fog.
Hey, it worked. It worked for Silent Hill.
In a game that's already fucking slow.
I bet it's really bad in Lavender Town.
There is no Lavender Town in Gen 4.
Oh. I feel old.
Don't worry, I didn't know that one either.
Well, technically, there is a Lavender Town in the remake of Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but not in Sinnoh. My complaint about Gen 4 is mostly with Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Although Heart Gold, Soul Silver doesn't fix all of the problems of Gen 4, but yeah.
That's the thing about these hangouts. We talk about anything. You never know.
Dave used Confuse. It was super effective.
What can I tell you? I like video games. I like talking about them.
In Ancapistan, who will prevent a Pokemon trainer from conquering the world?
A 10-year-old.
Yes.
Just like they do in the actual games. And you know what's funny is everybody tries to say how like Pokemon is a good example of socialism because they have free healthcare. But when healthcare is literally just standing at a desk and throwing Pokeballs on a machine that just, boop, all your problems are fixed.
It's not exactly realistic. Like people say, oh, Star Trek is socialism, but you know, they don't actually explain how you get socialism to space age utopia.
And that's the problem. They always seem to start out with all the amazing technology and starships and everything else, and they never really say how you get there.
No, even the Pokemon games never explain how the hell it works. It just does. I mean, it works on a game mechanic level, but you can't really explain it.
I mean, it's like in Star Trek, they don't even do things like just think through if someone actually invented a replicator, what would that do? I mean, it would just completely transform everything.
It's like saying since forges and grindstones in Skyrim don't suffer any sort of damage from their usage, and that, you know, the player can access any forge that they want, that Skyrim is a good example of socialism.
Yeah, Trinchy points out that Star Trek had a currency system. The original Trek did, and in like the first episode of the Next Gen, when they're at Farpoint, I think it's Crusher who says something like, you know, charge this to my account on the Enterprise or something like that. But I think it was when they made Star Trek 4, when they're talking about they don't use money, meaning they don't use green pieces of paper. And so they had to find a way to buy things in 1986. Somehow, I think in the next gen that got translated to "we don't have a concept of money," and
The funny thing about people who relate ideologies to TV shows, which a lot of people do, but when they actually say that it's an example of how their ideology will work, it's funny because they don't understand that these shows are fictional.
Shit's fake.
Well, and this is the hilarious thing. Like if you read the negative reviews on L. Neil Smith's The Probability Broach, the complaint is he set up his little anarcho-capitalist version of America to be a utopia. I'm like, well, okay, what about Star Trek? What about, all these others who have a socialist utopia? That's fine, but as soon as someone does it with anarcho-capitalism, it's bad?
Yeah, also, personally, I preferred Star Trek when it was directed by Fred M. Wilcox.
Now, which one was that?
Forbidden Planet.
Oh, yeah.
Ashton
that
Rhodes
really is
has
the first. If you haven't seen that one, that's good. That's often called the first modern science fiction movie.
Ashton Rhodes has something. He says, "Hey y'all, want to help us discredit lefties and other types of degenerates? Shane, ANCAP Kid, well, you can join Amino. We're trying to make ANCAPistan a real thing. Don't worry, dude. Next market crash, and then ANCAPistan is only a couple months away."
What is Amino?
I guess it's his ANCAP group or something.
It's a chat app. It's like Discord. You can make all these different little subgroups based on interests and affinities.
Might need a little more than that to bring anarcho-capitalism into fruition.
No, all you need is a market crash. Then people invest in crypto.
Yeah, well, that's what you need. You need cryptocurrencies. You need online marketplaces in the Tor space, the dark web, places like that.
Yeah, that's what
you need a fully functional counterculture is what you need.
I'm not really certain that you need a counterculture per se, but if you had a counter market, I think the culture would change. There would be a counterculture, just naturally, because a counter economy is profitable, and people see it'll be profitable, so they'll go to it.
Yeah.
Then there's a culture change.
That reminds me, those watching at home, don't forget to check out Coinable.
And that just shit the bed.
Which one is Coinable?
You advertise it all the time.
Oh, that went defunct a long time ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't run one of those in years. They went down in the wake of Mt. Gox.
Oh, wow.
Going out.
Jeez, that's almost like a Superplex Bros plug.
Yeah, that's going way back. I've been trying to find one since then, but I haven't really found one that I like. But
I need to pay more attention.
Probably should.
Yeah, that's been years.
It'd probably help.
No, this is the kind of thing that upsets me where people are like, oh, well, you libertarians, why don't you go and try making something else? It's like, well, we do. Look at Bitcoin. Look at the dark markets. Every time we try, your government comes in and starts pounding on it.
Actually, I heard of this new attempted society, but I forget where it was. I remember a friend of mine told me about it. But I have to ask.
Now, there were a bunch of those. Someone is wanting to go, I think it was like somewhere in South America. At least if he gets enough money that he can actually purchase land from one of the governments down there and actually have it declared autonomous. And I forget what that's called.
I suppose our first step would be to try and defeat Google.
Wasn't there one not too long ago that was in like the middle of Europe or some shit?
Well, that was, Liberland was on the border between Croatia and Serbia. in an area that neither one of them claimed. Serbia said it was part of Croatia, and Croatia said it was part of Serbia. So they decided to go there and settle. And then all of a sudden, Croatia said, "Oh, you're on our land," and started arresting everyone.
Yeah.
Are you talking about neutral Morsenet? Or
it's someplace on the border between Serbia and Croatia.
Yeah, that sounds familiar to me. I think.
Yeah, Liberland. That's that. Yeah, that was it. I just didn't remember the name. But another example of, hey, we try to start something and they shit all over it.
Yep.
Yeah. Why don't you start your own? Okay, let us.
Exactly. Hey, what do you think we did in 1776? You know.
And then, of course, they blame capitalism for impeding it.
Shane, you know 1776 don't count. That was America. That's different.
Yeah. Even though they're basically doing everything the Founding Fathers rebelled against to begin with.
You mean they weren't rebelling so that they could have gun control and all this other shit and socialized healthcare?
Yeah. Nope, wasn't about any of that.
Oh no. The hell
that's
you
what
say?
Gets me about the. That's what gets me about the. Well, why don't you move to Somalia or wherever? First of all, Somalia isn't libertarian by any stretch of the imagination. But you're the one who has all sorts of choices. If you want universal health care, if you want gun control, you're talking about, Europe does things so great. Australia does things so great. Well, why don't you go there? That's how I always knew it was bogus. All of the, pundits and economists going up, talking about how great things were over in the Soviet Union. The fact that none of them moved there.
Yeah, they're the ones who get the luxury of being able to have their way without having to move.
Right.
It's kind of funny how I wonder what would the reaction be if Trump went on television or went on Twitter and said, you know what? Today, as of right now, I am putting a team together and we are going to try and stop cancer. How much you want to bet people will be like, cancer's not all that bad?
Honestly, I want Trump to actually come out against anarcho-capitalism.
Please. Please do that.
Imagine how that would bolster the ranks.
I don't know. That's like asking what would happen if the immovable force met with the immovable object or whatever the hell that.
Well, at the same time, have them come out like in favor of universal health care and everything.
Yeah. I remember
lying.
He spoke out against video games, and it completely caused a 180.
Think about what would happen if. Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting.
That's cool.
Oh, think about what would actually happen if Trump came out and was talking against anarcho-capitalism, because there's that group of people who are just they just want to counter everything Trump says. Because they want to disagree with anything he says, so they'll criticize him on it. Imagine how many of those same, lefty characters would instantly turn ANCAP just because of that.
Yeah.
Because they want to disagree with him.
It actually reminds me of this video from Dark Matter 2525.
So 50.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that joke went over well.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Went over very well.
And if there's a place I can link this, I'm not sure, because it doesn't let me post YouTube links in the...
What the fuck was that?
It was the
Just send it to me and I'll put it in the show notes when it's over.
But yeah, it was if Muhammad replaced Trump. And it showed...
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
I still have yet to watch that video. It's always in my description and I keep ignoring it. I don't know why.
You have to. It is gold.
Joseph Fanning says people who hate everything ever that Trump does. Hang on, let me get it up. need to realize that they're letting Trump dictate their actions just as much as his most rabid supporters do. And this is something that I've said about libertarians, especially kind of like when they passed the seatbelt laws here in North Carolina. They're like, well, I'm not going to wear my seatbelt, and these people were wearing their seatbelts before. And I'm like, wait a minute. If you're someone who would otherwise wear your seatbelt and you're letting the existence of the law make you not wear your seatbelt, then you're letting yourself be controlled by the state just as if it were the other way around.
Yeah. You know, maybe we should try that.
Crap. I cannot get my text editor up in this crazy low resolution window I'm in.
I'll also
somewhere to put this link.
I'll also post it in the server. Oh wait, no, that's not the problem. The problem is you being able to post it.
Hang on, I'll just put it in the Discord.
Actually, wasn't it Dark Matter who brought you to brought your attention to that old 5 stupid things about libertarianism?
Well, not really. He clued me into Steve Shives' channel, which at that time had a lot of good stuff in it. And then he posted the 5 stupid things about libertarianism, and I responded to that, and that was kind of when his channel started going downhill.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Dejarm67, I think he wants us to acknowledge this comment because he's reposted it a couple times. Okay, you libertarian, can explain how you stop clone children for organ harvest without the state stopping it. I got you, libertarian. Cough, printing organ, cough.
The only thing I remember about Steve Shives lately,
just don't,
is the fucking his girlfriend giving him shit for saying he likes Angel more than Buffy.
Yeah,
which was hilarious because I hate both shows.
Hey, he has been quoted saying, "I like me some chicks with dicks."
I mean, to be fair, that's not uncommon in this day and age.
Yeah,
That
hey,
was,
that's his thing.
In my opinion, that was the most brilliant thing Bearing has ever done.
But what DJ Arms was saying, what's going to stop you from doing it with the clone children? What's going to stop you from doing it with a regular child? If they're a good match, kill my child, give the organs,
All right, Atomic, get on the table.
I mean, that's just, I mean, I'm sure he's being facetious, but and you wouldn't need to do it anyway because it's a lot easier to clone individual organs. Like, I think they can do that. I think you can do it with a heart now, and just clone the individual organ and put it in, as opposed to have a child waiting for the child to get old enough to do it. You're kind of on a timer there.
If I only had a heart.
Okay, then.
Hey.
All right, I think the chat room's gone weird.
Oh, dear. To be fair, this...
Actually,
this hangout goes more silent than the Dixie Chicks reputation.
Black Spruce brought up a good question. Thoughts about the conspiracy theories about Jews controlling the world and being evil. Larkin Rose, of all fucking people, surprisingly had a decent video about that.
I love that video. I know the one you're talking about.
I liked most of it. There was the part about, where it gets borderline truther, where it's like, oh, evil bankers ruling the world. And just,
Yeah, I know.
But you can't win them all. And I accept that. So,
I know
99% of the video is pretty good. I'm willing to let the 1% pass.
And Blake, you're a co-host, aren't you? You should be able to come into one of the places I posted, to the Discord or the Skype room.
Yeah, Blake. There should be a link available.
Yeah, he's a co-host.
Hold on.
He should at least be in the Skype room. I don't know if he's on the Discord or not.
Oh, yeah, I see Blake on my list, and I'll just copy the link from when I shared it with Atomic.
All right.
I do think it's funny, though, that for some reason conspiracy theorists seem to get lumped in with libertarianism when a lot of them are definitely left-leaning. Like Jesse Ventura, I don't know why people assume that he's a libertarian. The man was on record saying that he thinks there should be not a minimum wage, but a maximum wage, that you should only be allowed to learn so much before the government cuts you off.
I mean, you have the conspiracy crazies everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. But I don't know why they get lumped in with libertarians. It's kind of silly.
Wait, which Blake is it? That might be the
Blake
one.
Pettis.
Huh?
What's funny is I've actually made a video about a conspiracy theory that actually does have proof toward it.
A conspiracy or a conspiracy theory? Because those are two different things.
Well, a conspiracy theory.
The worst thing that ever happened was the NSA being exposed as being a thing because it gave conspiracy theorists ammo to say, hey, we told you. Now, here's our crazy theory about why there's a gorilla on the moon jerking off.
Well, the distinction is a conspiracy theory isn't really just a claim that there's a conspiracy going on. It's the fact that the conspiracy is the reason why we don't have any evidence. You know, we would be able to prove it, but this conspiracy covered it up.
But isn't there a law about this? Like the more you pile on to a conspiracy to cover it up, the less plausible it becomes.
Yeah, it was. I think we covered this in the podcast, but once you get, like, you can do it with maybe a handful of people. Once you get a dozen people involved, you start having a problem of, you know, like Watergate was known to what, 5 or 6 people, and one of them blabbed. And then once you get a few dozen in, it becomes difficult, if not impossible. And I think 200 was the number. If you need 200 people to stay silent, forget it. It is not happening in this universe. It is just, there is just too much that would cause at least one of them
Too many
to blow
loose
the
ends.
whistle on it.
Way too many loose ends.
Yeah. And I mean, when you look at things like, you know, the moon landing conspiracy and things like that, the fact that the idea that it was hoaxed and we didn't really land on the moon, all of the thousands and thousands of people who would have to be in on it, including in like the Soviet Union, who would have loved to embarrass the US at the time. Aha, see, these capitalist pig dogs had to fake the moon landings. You know, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's all because we really live under a one-world government. Don't you know that?
Yeah, ironically, states competing with each other is a perfect argument for the market.
Well, and that was what our founders thought, you know, have, you know, when you have your national government, just have it be this kind of loose collection of states and very limited powers, and the powers would get more and more the more local you got. And I mean, you know, think about how much, you know, you can go down to your town hall and make your voice heard. You know, what about, you know, is the president going to listen to you?
Nah. He stopped answering my calls.
Someone asked us what we think of bronies and people liking MLP in general. I didn't know that's still a thing.
I've been keeping up with the series still.
Yeah, well, that's their thing. That's what they like. So what? Who cares?
I don't care. I don't care about any of that.
About as many craps about that as FDR's policies were successful.
I mean, what is it that would offend so much? You know, some guy says, I like My Little Pony. Oh my God, that's horrible. Why? Why do you care? Why is that such a, you know?
I don't understand how you'd think a libertarian would react to that. It's like, oh, we need to ban My Little Pony because, you know, those bronies, those degenerates, need to be thrown out the helicopter. Like, you know, what do you think we're going to respond with? Not to be rude, just...
Yeah. It's the TV shows. Some people like it, some people don't. That's the way it is.
There's a lot of shit I like that people would be like, why the hell do you like that at 30 years old? Because I do. I like anime. I like video games. I like well, I have a love-hate relationship with pro wrestling. But I like it. It's what
anime do you like?
I'm a simple man. As long as it's got people fighting and dying and a lot of action, I like it.
My Hero
basically
Academia?
any anime ever.
No, that's not true, Shane. That is not true.
Not true.
But my favorite anime is Fist of the North Star. I like Berserk. Well, I don't like the anime Berserk. I like the manga of Berserk.
Which reminds me, Dave, you're already dead.
I've been dead inside for a long time. You're not threatening me. But I like My Hero. I like the manga of One Piece, again, better than the anime. I grew up with Dragon Ball and Yu Yu Hakusho. And I like Hellsing, and I like Trigun, and a lot of that shit.
Do you prefer the original series or Hellsing Ultimate?
I like both. I
was a bit earlier. I think I was like 12 or something when Yamato came over here as Star Blazers, and I like that. I liked Akira. I saw that in college, and
Akira was great.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. And here's the thing: when I first saw it, there wasn't an English translation or subtitles or anything. It was just Japanese, and I had no idea what everyone was saying, but I could follow it. And then they made a dubbed version, and I watched the dubbed version, and it's like, I didn't really need to know what they were saying. I got everything from the context of the voices and everything.
I also, to reference the chat, I also like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I also like it. I resisted it for a while because meme, but I like it. And it also has any show. I know this was only for the first two, technically, seasons, but any show that has Roundabout by Yes as the closing credits is always good in my book.
Yeah, it's very clear that the creator of JoJo was a huge music nerd.
Oh yeah, unapologetically, all of the characters and their abilities were all mostly based on musicians or bands, and he did not hide it. There's a character named AC/DC, Cars,
REO Speedwagon.
Yeah, REO Speedwagon. There's a Metallica somewhere in there. It's actually kind of funny, and they do censor it in the dub because of copyright. They do censor it. They'll either change spelling or just outright change the name. There's a whole bunch of Pink Floyd references in Part 4. A whole bunch. The main character's ability is called Crazy Diamond. There's another one which is Echoes. And they completely changed them because of copyright.
Wow.
Yeah. So Crazy Diamond is now...
They couldn't call someone Crazy Diamond?
It's now Shining Diamond.
Mm.
And Echoes, I think, is... what the fuck did they change it to? Reverb or some shit?
Mm.
Completely destroying the reference.
How is that even copyrightable?
I don't know. There was one called Red Hot Chili Pepper that they changed to Hot Pepper or something like that.
I don't know, but
IP law.
Was this that someone from Pink Floyd or Roger Waters or someone like that actually did? Or did some lawyer say, oh, no, we can't do that. You have to change it because they might sue us?
I don't know, but surprisingly enough, and this one shocked me because the band is generally very heavy on copyright. Robert Fripp of King Crimson actually made a post on his Facebook a while ago talking about King Crimson, the ability in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, and I thought it was hilarious. He was like, how does it work? It just does. In full support, which is funny because the King Crimson band as they currently are now are huge assholes when it comes to copyright. You can't even there's kind of a thing now on YouTube where people who normally don't listen to certain kinds of music, they'll post themselves reacting to this music. And King Crimson is one of those bands that if you post a reaction, you're gone immediately.
By the way, this stream has been removed on copyright claims.
welcome, Blake. You've got 12 minutes, I think, before we sign off.
Hey, Blake.
Hey, well, I figured there's a little too much dead air, and I wanted to, rile a bunch of people up. So
Sounds good.
I had a lot of questions.
Night of the Living Dead Air.
I had a lot of questions about the Civil War because, my government school this year, I got in a debate with a few people about whether Abraham Lincoln did anything illegal during that time, like.
Well, the Supreme Court, I think, knocked him down on several things.
Like didn't you put Union troops in Maryland to sway them to vote to not leave the Union?
Yeah, and he used troops to put down the protests of the war, things like that. Shut down newspapers and arrested the editors.
I was going to say, if we only got 12 minutes, that's not long enough.
Check out Tom DiLorenzo's book on it. That'll cover it.
It was kind of funny because I took Civil War back in high school, and surprisingly, they actually covered that shit. Like how Abe Lincoln wasn't the patron saint of goodness.
Well, they did in ours too, but I mean, we're in the South, so that might figure.
I'm in the deep north of Connecticut, so.
I came down on the anti-registration side.
Yeah, well, I'm from Illinois, where
the Confederacy was in the right. Not about everything. I mean, first of all, slavery is about as pretty wrong as you can get. Second, I mean, if you want to talk about shredding up the Constitution and committing atrocities and war crimes, the South did plenty of that too. Yeah. Neither side was all that great.
You'll find that if you study war even remotely, there's really no good guys. It's just bad guys trying to kill each other for different reasons.
War never changes.
Like I was watching Penn and Teller when they were talking about Tibet and how they the Tibetan monk class punished people with eye gouging.
Oh yeah, they were horrible.
Yeah.
They would impale them on stakes and things like that.
People really romanticize Tibetan monks.
Just like they romanticize Mother Teresa.
Yeah, they're propped up by the celebrity class, so people in America will go along with those people.
But, yeah. Well, you're failing at your job of trying to end the dead air, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Doing a terrible job.
Although he did work the Civil War into the Hangouts. I think we win a couple of Hangouts without talking about the Civil War. So that's.
You want me to start inviting the interesting people?
We only got 10 minutes, so.
Add a socialist in here. Let's make this stream another hour long.
Oh, God.
No can do. My daughter's got oral surgery in the morning. And
you know what's funny? Speaking of the picking their own damn cotton, weren't they pretty much going to once they, started having better technology and shit?
Well, most of the South was anyway, because when you're talking about slaves working the plantations, that was like the top 1 or 2%. My family didn't have any slaves. They were poor. They picked their own cotton.
Yeah, but your family were a bunch of dumb Irishmen.
Germans, actually.
Invite Thought Slime, then destroy him on stream. I second that.
Wait, invite who now?
Thought Slime.
I never heard of him, but I have also.
Have you not heard of Thought Slime?
I have been out of the loop on this shit.
I think I gave him Lord Killian treatment one time.
Yeah, I've been out of the loop on this shit for years now. So I had a good 2 years of depoliticizing my life. So
I did one podcast.
Well, that's fine,
that was last year.
Yeah, that's fine because Thought Slime's only been prevalent for a couple months now. I think the ANCAP community really started talking about Thought Slime more when.
And with that, he's gone again.
Oh, that's a shame.
He's up and down like a kangaroo in the mating season.
I'm assuming you speak from experience.
No one? Okay. Oh, there he is.
This phone is literally Hitler.
Your phone is responsible for 9/11, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Actually,
It put the bombs in the freaking.
I'm pretty sure all of us have killed as many people as Hitler has this year.
That's
Are you
true.
kidding? I fucking doubled that high score, motherfucker. Double that high score. He ain't got shit on me. And that's the end of that chapter.
Yeah. Return of the Living
I
Dead.
haven't done my ancestry. I'd like to do that at 23andMe and just see what shows up. But I have a feeling it's pretty much going to be white guys.
You know what's funny? I actually, Shane, you're smart about this kind of shit. You might know. Because I have family who did that. And it's weird how two people of the same family, like two sisters with the same parents, somehow having completely different shit in their gene history. Is that normal?
I guess it would depend on how different. If it's too different, you might want to be thinking, okay, was there some screwing around going on? But I mean, when you think about the way genes recombine, you're not necessarily going to get the same genes from each parent. And so if one parent has lineage that goes through, Indonesia or somewhere like that, and you just happen to get a lot of those genes and your sibling didn't, that might stand to reason. But
okay, I because it sounded a little off to me, so just wanted to clarify. Because my aunt,
it depends on how many there are,
Yeah, because my aunt did that, and her mother did that, and my own mother did that, and they all somehow got different shit. Well, my grandmother obviously would get different from her daughters, but
because their daughters would have stuff from their fathers.
Yeah, but the two of them are sisters of the same parents. No deviation there. So, and yet they had some distinctly different things. Like my aunt had a lot of Middle Eastern stuff in there, while my mother didn't, which was weird.
Yeah, I guess it would all depend on how much.
Yeah.
Because all they're doing is they're looking at patterns of genes to say, okay, this matches the pattern that we've seen, go through the Middle East. And
I actually created a character for a story I was writing named Gene Pool.
That's terrible. You could feel bad.
Boom.
You should be ashamed. All right, 3 minutes to go. Save us from dead air.
Okay, I guess since y'all botched my fucking plug earlier, I guess I will plug my own shit since I know what I'm fucking talking about. 7-Star Podcast is a variety show where we have different discussions and different segments ranging from actual discussions to just comedy bits. We are on SoundCloud and we are on Twitter at 7-Star Podcast. That would be 7 the number star podcast.
And Dave could send Shane some links so he can.
I will. We try to have a show weekly, but with scheduling issues and tech issues, it sometimes just doesn't work. We have 3 episodes available now, and check it out. You might like it. You might not. Hopefully we make you laugh, make you think, or just piss you off. I don't care which, as long as you're just checking out the show. And that's all I got from me.
And it's good to talk to you again, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, it feels like forever.
I know. I've been like a shadow, and not just because I wear black.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
Anyone else got anything to say?
Okay. Hi. My name's Atomic. I make libertarian anarcho-capitalist YouTube videos. Go check out my channel.
It's a great channel. Thanks for coming on.
Well, thanks, Shane.
It was real cool having you on.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
I don't make any videos. Anything to say before we go?
Well, I don't make any videos, but I liked that streak where you were attacking Sam Cedar for a while, because I used to watch him all the time and just cringe.
Yes, I used to have this really strong vendetta against Sam Cedar.
I got a few more saved up. I might do it when some other stuff runs dry, but there's plenty of other stuff for Lord Killian to do.
But you picked the greatest ones to attack, especially the one with he couldn't pronounce that one. Was it that one drug
Thalidomide.
that was thalidomide? It's in a was it? Who's that? Billy Joel. It's in a Billy Joel song for crying out loud, but he couldn't pronounce it.
But yeah,
Inside the Fire.
actually, it's funny that you decided to bring up Sam Cedar while we were talking about Dead Air.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
I still think Richard Wolff is even dumber though. Like,
When you consider it was one of his students that screwed up Greece.
where was it that he was a professor?
I don't remember.
Harvard.
I think it might have been Harvard. I'd have to look it up.
Does Greece allow like Americans to just run its country?
No,
Or
I
is it
think
what-
he was a Greek who just went there and was a
Okay.
student.
I don't know. I used to
All
like
right,
Trump, but
I guess that's it, unless there's anything from Daniel.
Also, on that subject, I still find it hilarious that Cedar, one of his big roles is playing basically a corrupt government stooge on Bob's Burgers.
that show sucks anyway.
I'm just grabbing my link for you, Shane. I'm gonna post them in the Hangout.
Yeah,
All right, yeah, just post him in the Hangout. I'll get him in here, and then
right, well,
this bad boy is getting re-imaged, and then I'm
well, this one's for Johnny. So long, farewell.
Avita saying goodbye.
Sorry, I
So
couldn't
Shane
make
Gillian
this.
makes better content than me.
yours is good.
I don't know. I feel like
Yeah, well, nowhere near yours.
I feel like
Well, I've been doing this for 10 years, so you know.
I never made libertarian content. I play video games and act like an asshole.
I feel like Shane sometimes has a bit of a bare bones approach.
All right, good night, everyone.
Adios.